Okay, are we ready? Yes. Okay, good morning, everybody. Oh my gosh, this is an amazing turnout. Thank you everyone for coming. My name is Shelby Peak. I'm the branch manager of the Fort Benjamin Harrison branch. Thank you. And on behalf of the IndyPL Board President, Judge Salinas, our interim CEO, Nichelle M. and myself, I would like to welcome all of you to celebrate this groundbreaking ceremony for a highly anticipated library branch. So the desire for a library branch to be on this historic ground has been a dream that goes as far back about 30 years in the 1990s when Fort Harrison transitioned from being a U.S. military base to being a part of the city of Indianapolis. And that dream is still just as strong, if not more so, for the Fort Bend community today. I've spoken with many friends, patrons, and neighbors, not only as a representative of the library, but as a fellow Fort Bend resident. I can personally attest that the excitement can't be contained, and there is an overwhelming need for library access in this area. IndyPL committed to building the Fort Bend branch as part of a number of strategic plans ago, and yet more challenges came along the way, especially in the past 2 years. But we persevered and had our first of 3 community outreach meetings in December 2020. And today, in April 2022, we are overjoyed to tell you that the wait is almost over and our dream of a Fort Bend library is becoming a reality. And this would not be possible without the continuous support of all of you in the Fort Bend community, as well as the assistance of many others over the years. I'd like to thank the City of Lawrence Mayor, Steve Collier, for coming to speak for us today and for your support of this project. Thank you as well to City County Councilor Ethan Evans of District 4 and City County Councilor Monroe Gray, the chair of the Municipal Corporations Committee, who both sadly could not be here today, for being avid supporters of the library in past, present, and future projects. Also here today is Senator Kyle Walker, and I believe our Lawrence Township trustee, Steve Talley, is here. And the president of the Library Foundation, Roberta Jaggers, Kathy Walker, our city clerk. And I want to thank you all for coming and for your ongoing support of the library and future programs and initiatives for the Fort Bend branch. I especially want to thank our partners with the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority, our board president, Jeff Vest, executive director, Heather Milliken, and former executive director, Aletha Dunstan, as well, for their support and for seeing the library as part of their vision for the Fort Harrison redevelopment plan. I would like to also recognize the team at Ratio Architects and the teams at the Skillman Corporation and Davis and Associates for their hard work and dedication over each stage of the design and construction of the branch. We got a lot of community feedback and support at our outreach meetings, and they've really taken that feedback to heart, and it's going to really show on opening day when you all get to see the building for the first time. Many IndyPL staff, both former and current, deserve recognition for their hard work to make this project a reality. It would be too long to name them all. However, I'd like to recognize Mike Coughlin, our Capital Projects Manager, as one of the folks for literally holding down the fort on this project over the years. Thank you also to Adam Parsons, our Director of Facilities, Gregory Hill, Interim Chief Public Services Officer, and our former CEO, Jackie Needis. I'd like to also recognize the amazing staff of the Lawrence branch for their work serving Lawrence Township and Fort Bend up to this point, and I know that we will be working together to continue meeting needs of this community. I'd like to thank our Library Board of Trustees, especially Board President Judge Jose Salinas and Mr. Curtis Bigsby, Chair of our Facilities Committee, for their dedication to creating an important community asset for Fort Bend. And I believe we have some of our other board members here today, and thank you for coming and for your support. Lastly, I'd like to welcome Nichelle M. Hayes to this project during her tenure as our interim CEO. Nichelle has been the founding director for the Center for Black Literature and Culture at Central Library since its inception, and she is also the current vice president for the Black Caucus American Library Association. Nichelle has been an inspiration for anyone who has had the opportunity to work with her, and I'm so excited she is joining us on this journey. So to officially kick off our program today, please join me in welcoming our interim CEO, Nichelle M. Hayes, to the podium to say a few words.
Good morning, everyone. I've already been introduced, so I'm going to make my remarks very brief because it is nice and brisk, even though the sun is out. This is definitely an Indiana morning, and someone said before, like in Indiana, we could have all 4 seasons in one day. So we're going to just enjoy this amazing day. I'm very honored to be here. Welcome to everyone who took out this cold day to be with us to celebrate. This is very important for our city and for this neighborhood. This is an area where I visit quite frequently. My god sister lives down the street, and so I do a lot of things in this area, so I'm excited that there will be a new branch here. As was mentioned before, the branch was envisioned as part of a redevelopment of the land since it was decommissioned and transitioned from the U.S. military into the city of Indianapolis in the 1990s. And so this branch is an easy access, high traffic, high visibility location with walk up, bike up, and drive up material return locations. So there's going to be something for everyone. I want to thank the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority, our architect, Ratio Architects, and our construction manager, the Skillman Davis team of Indianapolis. And most of all, I would like to thank the staff of Indianapolis Public Library. They are our greatest asset. We couldn't do any of this work without them. Some people you see, they're behind the scenes in closed departments, and some people are front facing in libraries. So if you're a staff member for IndyPL, please wave your hand so you can get a big round of applause. And without any further ado, next on the agenda is Judge Jose Salinas, who is our board chair.
All right, I've cut down my remarks from 10 pages to 2, so in lieu of the weather, I'm going to concur with our interim CEO and give thanks to our staff for making this possible. You know, growing up, the library was somewhere I would go and learn and explore. And where I can go and read a book, and it's also a safe haven. So I've always been fond of libraries, and I would take my kids to my local library in Garfield Park and just watch them grow up. And it's just an amazing thing to see the next generation of young kids, and us younger kids as well, to envision and see this library, 2,200 square feet. Of just amazingness. This project is projected to be done ready next year in 2023. It's going to have access to from the roads and landscaping that's going to be second to none from what I've been told. It's going to be a model for energy saving. Over the panels that it's going to have, the solar panels, it's going to have over 80% of the library's energy will be fulfilled with those panels. So that's amazing. So the future of where we're going in energy is right here in Lawrence with this library, so I'm excited about that. This location that we have today will fill a gap, service gap between Lawrence and Warren as well. I'm excited that the library is going to be able to bring services, not only expand services and that we bring to the people of Lawrence and Warren. Our library is looking forward in ways to bring the people around us all together. This groundbreaking is a part of that. I want to acknowledge the efforts of those that have come before us in making this a reality. We are becoming better as a library people for the community that we serve here and for this community. And I want to thank everyone for being here this morning. This is one of the nicest things that I get to do as board president, is to come out and envision the growth of our library. I want to acknowledge the community leader that we have, the mayor, Bill Collier. Thank you, Bill. Come on. Oh, that's our next speaker, by the way. Thank you, Bill.
You can call me Bill. I've been waiting for this day, as Aletha will certainly attest to, and I want to acknowledge Aletha over here on the side. She was not quite here, but Aletha has put up with my impatience and been the calming influence with me for the last probably 3 or 4 years. So to be able to be here today and actually see this happening, and actually be able to recognize the fact that Heather Milliken now has taken over her position, and I can't say enough how proud I am of the effort she has been putting forward the last couple of days. But it's a big day for Lawrence. We talked a little bit about this, but unfortunately, I've been here for 61 of my 67 years, so I've grown up with the library, and I remember that the library closing on Franklin Road, but it's back in 1996. The Marion County Library branch was proposed for the Reuse Authority, and everybody was very excited about that. And as time went on and so on, we kept thinking about where it would be, what the different iterations, the different spots. I believe I'm right. This is the 5th location on FHRA. This was I think the 7th iteration of it happening. I remember in 2016 at my State of the City talking about the library would begin. It was through a lot of hard work, and I do mean a lot of hard work and a lot of cooperation, that we sit here today getting ready to open what's going to be kind of the center of the city of Lawrence. There's no question about that. I'm an old history teacher, so let me tell you a little bit about my research. What does a library mean to a community? And I think sometimes it's lost on the people in general about what a library really means to us to bring it here. First of all, it serves as a revitalization for neighborhoods and towns for the entire city. It can serve to preserve our history and tell our story. There is a tremendous amount of history here on FHRA property, and this library will serve as a great focus point to be able to come in and learn about the city of Lawrence and learn about Fort Harrison. Libraries champion our democratic ideals. And please don't ever call me this too many more times, as a politician, part of what I have to do is to understand and grasp democratic ideals and make sure and put them in place. That's what a library does for us. Libraries promote small businesses and provide economic development. In an increasingly diverse city like Lawrence, which we're quite proud of, it ensures that our non-English speakers will be represented. It is a great partnership. We just opened up our cultural campus this past year. The libraries provide an opportunity to promote the arts. It provides access to technology for those who may not have their access. Promotes an important construct of a democracy called civil discourse. I'm going to repeat that. Libraries provide an opportunity for all of us to get together and to talk with each other, and we can differ, we can disagree, but it provides an opportunity for us to actually have civil discourse and to come to a conclusion. That's incredibly important today, not just here, but across the United States. So yeah, thank you for that. Perhaps most importantly, it helps provide life skills to our most important resources, our young people in the city of Lawrence. Before I step off here, I want to recognize one other person that came in. Everybody knows her because she's at everything, but Sharon Freeman, where'd you go, Sharon? Back there, yeah, Sharon. She is, without question, the epitome of what a counselor should be. She's at everything out there. And I would be remiss if I didn't do this. All members of my staff are here today. Please stand up. I'm incredibly proud that they would show up like today. That gives you an idea of how important it is for us. So I'll step away now, and I think who's next? Jeffrey? Yeah, Jeffrey, you're up here. Thank you.
Hi guys, I'm Jeff Vest, president of the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority, and you got to know your audience. When I ask how long it's going to speak, you got to know your audience. It's cold, but not to restate what has been stated. I was an original member of the Fort Harrison Reuse Authority when we were formed in 1995, and I was going through some notes last night what I was going to say. It was in August we met for the first time, and the first question was, what are we going to do with this property that's just been given to us? And oh, by the way, we got to pay for it still. And then that was the ideal of, well, you got to have a library come out here. And you old Lawrence folks, I'm 60, So that means you have to go back 50 years or more. And the mayor alluded to it. We had the library right there on Franklin Road, and holy heck, you're right, it was a gathering place. And the mayor and I retired from Lawrence North as teachers, history teachers, going way back. But the library in Hague Road, being the second busiest, I do believe, in the system, our kids use it, and it's more than just books. It is a gathering place. And the library, you guys have screwed up in reverse. It's, you know, the population's outgrown its use, and you're coming out here. And when the mayor asked, stated, what's the purpose of libraries? I want everybody to take a look around in this room right here that's gathered. We're all flavors of humanity out here today. You're in the shadows of a cultural campus. We're hoping, Mr. Murphy and Miss Heather, that we break ground on around May 15th. That's going to be another central gathering places. This library is going to be another central gathering place, and that's what's unique of this location. This is not only in the middle of the city of Lawrence, it's in the middle of 120,000 population Lawrence Township. And the reach of the library is going to go well beyond the boundaries of Lawrence Township and the city of Lawrence. Our folks in Hancock County are going to come back to the west. We're going to draw folks like we do. My other hat I wear is president of the Parks Board. Our youth sports overwhelmingly serve non-city of Lawrence residents. This is truly going to be a calling card for all flavors of humanity. You get the cultural campus coming on here. You're going to have this, and in my 60 years, and I know Mr. Mayor, you feel the same way, we never thought we'd have an arts campus out here on the city of Lawrence, and it's going to be a gathering place, and we'd be very proud for all flavors of humanity to get together, and like the mayor said, to have a civil discourse. And then when we get done, we'll go over here to the cultural campus for one of our many festivals that we have. And to wrap it up, this opening of this library is almost, I think it's as big a deal as an announcement that a Chick-fil-A is coming. Don't wet yourself. It's not happening, so, okay? It's not happening, so ratchet it back to the library here. But that's just how big a deal. When that was finally announced, after 30 plus years the library was going to come here, wow, it was the answer. And I would like to give a shout out to my FHRA board that I hear, Miss Karen Powers, our newly married Mr. Russ Brown, Lacey Johnson, Jason Fenwick, our executive director, Ms. Heather Milligan, former He Played a Role, Senator Kyle Walker, former FHRA member, and Ms. Aletha Dunstan, who left us. Developing, I had to get that digging because Developing, he truly got a gem. And you're right, Mr. Mayor. Keep this PG. Mr. Mayor was grumpy as this was going along, and Heather is amazing to work with and bringing this to fruition. So thank you very much. And guys, in a couple years, we'll have a place to gather again and enjoy this. It's a pleasure. I get to do fun stuff in my 2 jobs the mayor's given me. So I really enjoy this. Thank you very much.
All right, well, thank you very much to all of our speakers and to all of you today who came to celebrate the Fort Bend Library. It's been so wonderful. I recognize so many faces, and thank you all again so much for coming out. Fort Bend is really a gem in this city that not only celebrates its military heritage and is home to a beautiful state park, but it is full of rich diversity. And I really believe that the addition of this library will really help enrich and support all those values that this community believes in, and be, as speakers have said before, a gathering place for all ages. So I could not be more thrilled to be a part of this project, and I anticipate that I will see all of you on